Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial. In the last video I showed you how to draft the pattern for this shirt dress with fitted waist. In this video I'll be showing you how to cut and sew from start to finish. So if it's something you're interested in, keep watching and let's get right into the video. So if you watched the previous video, or rather if you're watching this video, I'm hoping you already watched the previous video where we cut out all this pattern for the front part as well as the back part. Now cutting it, I'm using cotton fabric for this outfit. That's like the cutest fabric to use for this outfit, or if you don't have cotton fabric you can make use of crepe. For me, I bought 2 yards of fabric, but I would advise you to buy 3 because I'll show you why later. The skirt was not as full. It wasn't even half as full as I wanted it to be because the material was too small. So if you want to do this and you are my size, you can go for 3 yards, and if you are maybe a size 12 and above, 3.5 yards, and so on. So we are going to start by cutting the middle front. Always label your pattern so you will not be confused when you are cutting. So for this, I just folded it in half, placed it on it and pinned down. Then when you are cutting, just know that everywhere you are joining is 1/2 inch, but your seam allowance, that's the one at the side, will be 1 inch. I've said this in my previous video. I hope you are clear on that. So anywhere you are joining, attaching to somewhere, 1/2 inch, the side 1 inch. You don't need so much allowance when you are making outfit. So after marking 1/2 inch down, 1/2 inch up, 1 inch at the side, I'm just going ahead to cut it. Now, if you don't know how to draft a basic bodice, I said it in the previous video, please, you can refer back to my video. I'll link it on this video so you can learn how to pattern draft. Very, very important to learn. So after cutting, I'm just notching where the dart is supposed to be, since we are not cutting this material into 2 halves. So once you just mark where your dart is supposed to be, you can use your pencil or your chalk and rule a straight line and know where you are going to take to your machine and sew as that. I hope you understand. So I'm literally transferring the dart from the paper to the material. Now the next thing I did was to cut the back middle part, which is the part you're going to be smoking at the back of the dress. This one is easy peasy. Just make sure it's big enough so that when you finish smoking it, it will still size you. Now the next thing I'm cutting is the upper front and upper back. The reason why I'm cutting it step by step like this is because my material was so small, so I was really scared that it wasn't going to be enough. If you have a lot of material, you see that slash and spread where I left just 2 and 1 inch, you can leave as much as you want so that when you pleat it, that upper part is going to be full. This is why I said 3 yards. So after cutting it, don't forget to leave your 2.5 inch button allowance at the front when you are cutting. Very important because it's a button down style, except you don't want a button down style. I went ahead to cut the back, and this is what it's going to look like when I finish smoking it and adding it to the upper part. The next thing I did was to cut the sleeve. For the sleeve, what you want to do is measure what you have on your shoulder. Remember that when we're drafting our pattern, we added 3 inches to the shoulder. So your normal sleeve, you're going to subtract 3 inches because your shoulder is already 3 inches extra, so that the hand will not be too long. So when you subtract 3 inches, whatever you get from your full sleeve. So let me give an example. If your full sleeve is 24, because we already added 3 inches to the shoulder, you are now going to do 21 and then add 1 inch for seam allowance. Please, if you don't understand, please don't be shy, ask questions. There's one thing to watch a video and there's another thing to understand. So ask your questions and I would respond to you. Because my fabric was looking like it wasn't going to be enough, I cut every other part first before the skirt part. But if you know your fabric is enough, you can cut your skirt part as a flare, as a very wide A-line dress, any shape you want. The original dress is quite flare, so you can cut your own as a flare, but my material wasn't enough, so I just did a little bit of A. And after cutting the front and back, for the front, I just placed the front middle part on top the skirt so that I can get that shape out of the skirt. I just hope you understand what I did here, so I can get that shape out of the skirt. Don't forget to leave like 1/2 inch when you are cutting so that you can join that midpoint, that middle front part to the front skirt. Now the next thing we're going to work on is the upper part of this outfit. So I'm pinning down the front to the back, and then I'm just going to join it at the shoulder area. When you join it at the shoulder area, this is what it should look like. Make sure your seams are clean. Make sure you always iron in between. For the button allowance, that 2.5 inches button allowance we left, if you have stay or maybe wadding or collar stay, something you can use to make that place firm. I'm using stay to make it firm. Then I'm just folding it. After I'm done, I'm going to fold in 1/2 inch, then fold it again. I just hope you get what I mean. We left 2.5 inches for the button allowance. So you fold 1/2 inch first, then you fold 1 inch so that you'll be left with 1 inch button allowance. Please ask your questions if you don't understand. The next part we'll be joining are the sleeves. Remember, we cut the sleeves earlier, so just notch the middle point of the sleeve and attach it to the armhole of the sleeve. You know, the armhole of the sleeve now is straight. If you are confused about anything, just go back to the video when we were cutting the pattern and you would understand what I'm saying. So after joining the sleeves, you want to go ahead and notch the armpit area so it will be relaxed. And then the next thing I went ahead to do is measure the neckline. So I folded my fabric in half and measure the neckline so I can use to cut my collar and collar stand. Let me know if you have issues with cutting collar and collar stand, and I'll do a detailed tutorial on that. So after cutting 2 collars and 2 collar stands, I'm going to now interface them with hairstay so that they can have like good foundation. They will be sturdy enough for the neck area. So after that, what you want to do, just watch how I'm stitching the collar together. If you already know how to stitch collar, no need, you can use your method, but I join my collars first and then I use my collar stands to like seal the collar area before taking it to my dress. I hope you understand. You join your collar stand, use your collar stand to seal the collar, and then iron it properly. This is what it will look like if you do it correctly. Very fine, very demure. Then I'll go ahead to notch the middle of the collar stand and notch the middle of the neckline also. Pin the two together, keep pinning until you get to the edge of the fabric, and then take it to your machine and sew. Just make sure you sew as neat as possible. After sewing, then you cover it with the other one and top stitch on top. Very easy, very straightforward. This is what it's going to look like if you do it correctly. See the way our collar is standing to glory. So next thing you want to do is fix your buttons. You can decide to put more buttons if you want or less buttons, but just make sure you measure and let your button space be kind of equal. So the next thing we're going to do is this smoky part. So if you already know how to do smoky, just mark the part you want to smoke and take it to your machine. The elastic thread should be under your railer. But I had issues with this because I noticed that the thread I had at home has stayed for years and it was bad, so it kept cutting. So I had to devise another method, sharp. That's the whole part of being a designer. I went ahead to sew the dart at the front area and then cut it off. This is the front middle area so that the dart can relax. Then I cut another middle back since I couldn't use the smoky method again. But before that, I'm just going to notch the middle part of this front part so I can match it with the upper part of this outfit, because there's supposed to be like a placket coming from the upper part to the middle part. I just want to make sure it is the exact same measurement. What you now want to do next is that place you have ruled out at the middle, measure the length. We already know the width is 1 inch. You're going to measure the length so that you cut a fresh placket for this middle part. When you cut the fresh placket, you're cutting 2 inches fresh placket so that you use 1/2 inch to fold on 2 sides. Then put your hairstay, iron it, and this is what it will look like if you did it very correctly. Then go ahead and fix it at that middle part. This part, I apologize because I lost the clip. I don't know how the clip went missing, but yeah, you're just going to put the placket at the middle part of that front and then join it to the upper part of the outfit. I hope you understand. So sorry about the lost clip. Now that we are done with the upper part, let's move to the lower part. Very simple. You have the front part of the skirt and the back part of the skirt. You're going to join them together to form the actual skirt and then notch the middle front of the skirt, pin down to the middle of the upper part, pin each side to the side. So seam must meet seam. The side seam of the skirt should meet the side seam of the top, and then the middle point, same thing, the middle point for the back, and then you just go ahead and sew it round. This is what it would look like. I've already fixed my buttons at that placket area, and one thing I did also was put elastic at the back waist area, the up and the down, just like you can see, so that it would fit my waist. But if you are using the smoky method, which I highly recommend, there won't be any need for that at all. I also fixed in the elastic band at the sleeve area, and this is what the final dress looks like. It is a bit different from the previous one because the previous one is fuller at the skirt area. That's why I asked you to use more material. So if you found this video helpful at all, don't forget to share to another designer, to another soulmate. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to be part of this family, and then follow Zokbel Academy on all platforms. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Are you going to be trying this outfit? And is there any other thing you want me to teach? Have a lovely day. See you in my next video. Until then, keep winning.